Welcome back, my little recusants, to another episode of our Pokémon Yellow episodic Nuzlocke. We have just journeyed with Roxas through the dark tunnel and have made it through the other side. Our team are a little bit worse for wear, but thankfully Princess is pretty tanky and hopefully we can make it through this battle unscathed, make it to a Pokémon Center and heal up and continue on our merry adventure. So, Roxas has been on the run from Team Rocket. They are hunting him down because he ran away with a fossil that they're after. And after getting a call from Lieutenant Surge and Professor Oak, he's also been asked to carry a second fossil from the museum. So, with two fossils in tow, he was originally going to try and take the SSN to Johto. His Splishy the Gyarados evolved, causing chaos and getting him kicked off the ship. But through the trials and tribulations of the Dark Tunnel, he has kind of tamed Splishy, and Splishy has kind of come to his defense and protected him from the horrible rock-type trainers that were putting the team at risk. So with Splishy now on their side, all, a little worse for wear, having, battled a bunch of different hikers. But Splishy is now level 22, ready to, grow and experience with the other Pokemon, and finding a max Ether, very, very useful. But this is kind of going to be a training montage for those that have kind of fallen a little bit behind. So, without further ado, let's roll that episode title card. A flair for the dramatic. On entering the Pokémon Center, Roxas then hears many a conversation from different patrons at the center, trainers and other people discussing the horrors that Team Rocket have inflicted upon this small spiritual town. Lavender Town, obviously well known for the Pokémon Tower, a kind of nationwide cemetery filled with channelers and priests and priestesses there to help quell the anger from the ghost Pokemon that may have departed in difficult circumstances. But as it seems, Team Rocket seem to be, looking for Marowak and Cubone and capturing them and kind of stirring up the rage and anger of the spirits in Lavender Town. So clearly, no matter where Roxas manages to go, the hijinks and horrors of Team Rocket are not too far, to be found. Now, with Seraphine being only level 21, but we have a bunch of rock-type trainers to fight, so we're going to leave Splishy up front, and Roxas kind of wants to see, was this only in a life or death situation, or can Roxas actually control Splishy a lot more, bar the kind of fright from his evolution. So with a blast of Bubble Beam, the Cubone is taken out in one hit. Splishy just happy to be out of its Pokeball and able to, see the sunlight as it always did as a Magikarp. But its strength and power, both in special attack and normal attacks, is not to be underestimated as we dispatch this trainer without even taking any damage ourselves and gaining a level. Pikachu is obviously very happy to see Splishy again. It's kind of like the team are kind of amalgamating a lot more back together. But once again, another hiker, thinking his, rock-type Pokemon are indestructible, sends out an Onix that dies one hit to Splishy's Bubble Beam, and even an evolved Geodude Graveler falling as well to the might of Splishy. And again, other hikers just wanting to kill a fabled Gyarados. There aren't many Gyarados seen around the Kanto region, primarily for their ferocity. And I suppose for them, they're even saying that if a rock Pokemon can take out a water Pokemon, given that Gyarados is water flying, they do have a chance if they can ever just endure a water attack from Splishy. But, its power is simply unmatched in this area, and before long Splishy is growing again in power, and Seraphine, just as Jigglypuff, seeing the strength that Gyarados has gained through evolution, reaches and rummages through Roxas's backpack while he is conversing with the hiker, and just explaining that he's going to just head to Celadon probably and just try and get in contact with Professor Oak again. But as Seraphine continues to rummage, she places her hand against one of the errant moonstones that were still in Roxas' bag from his travels, and Seraphine is enraptured in this white light and evolves.
Wigglytuff, the balloon Pokémon. Its body is full of elasticity. By inhaling deeply, it can continue to inflate itself without limit.
Having researched this about his new Pokemon partner, Wigglytuff, Seraphine has grown in strength and endurance and size, and so as he journeys away from Lavender Town, just wanting to stay out of Team Rocket's business, as harrowing as it is, this one lass sees Wigglytuff and asks for a battle with her two Clefairy, simply stating that if she does win, she wants to have a moonstone if I happen to have an extra one, or at least be able to tell her where moonstones can be found. But Seraphine, with her newfound strength, lands a critical hit, almost one-hitting the Clefairy, thinking that, you know, a water gun would do enough damage. Unfortunately, with it not being a critical hit, Seraphine's special not being that high, and Clefairy's special clearly being high, the defense against water attacks were good and allowed Clefairy to get a few good hits in. So not making that same mistake again, Seraphine body slams, this time not a critical hit, but avoiding the double slap retaliation and finishing off Clefairy with a second body slam, gaining a level and nearly cresting 100 HP in the balance there. So realistically, Wigglytuff with a bit of like extra defense care and bide could be lethal for just absorbing lots of damage and then just taking out a really strong threat all in one go. Rounding the corner, he ends up seeing a gambler who is basically talking about his great success in the Celadon game corner, having purchased a rare Pokemon from their selection of unique Pokemon kept within the game corner itself. Roxas asks if it's this Growlithe Pokemon, and he says no, that's been my partner ever since I moved away from Cinnabar Island. This one, however, and releasing Vulpix from its Pokeball, landing a critical strike against Wigglytuff. Seraphine counter-attacking and paralysing, however, the paralysis doesn't proc. We get a second attack with Body Slam, but Roxas becomes intrigued. He hasn't owned a Fire-type Pokemon yet, and if these people are selling Pokemon, I mean, he made a good investment with Splishy before, maybe he can do it again. Thinking on adding different types of Pokemon to his team, he wanders the wilds of this area, seeing if he's able to capture a new ally. We get a Pidgey, so Dupe's Claws, let's re-roll that encounter. When suddenly Roxas feels like a strange sensation in his head, a kind of pull of telepathic guidance. Images of Celadon and the big city are there, and seeing this Abra concentrating on him, Roxas attempts to throw a Great Ball. But unfortunately the Pokemon teleports away, but the images of Celadon still ring in his mind, asking for help there. Journeying further along the route, we have some more combat encounters. this one trainer says that he basically was studying specimens from Celadon. The kind of high levels of pollution have generated these Grimer Pokemon to reproduce at high rates in the urban centre, obviously causing a lot of discomfort for the residents there, given that Grimer and Muck can just have an astoundingly strong scent. Even Seraphine is finding it so difficult to battle with them, preferring to keep her distance and spraying them with water attacks, hoping to washing them down but make them smell a little less worse. Gaining another level, we end up with the evolved form of Grimer, Muck. So the Celadon City has basically become so polluted that even Grimer are starting to mutate and evolve at much earlier levels than previously understood. Once again, now having her ability disabled, Seraphine just breathing in deeply and producing torrents of water as it just blasts into the sludge of this muck. Seemingly unperturbed by the torrent of water being blasted against it after water gun, continually chipping away at its HP, the Pokemon continues to slumber silently. The trainer gets really frustrated and is just calling out to Muck again and again, but with Disable's effect no longer impairing Seraphine's ability to use Body Slam, Muck is quickly taken care of. And in the final Grimer, at this point Seraphine realizes there's no point in prolonging the fight, just slamming into it and then water gunning herself down to clean herself and gaining another level in the process, swiftly catching up with the other members of the team. This does, however, leave Pikachu at a bit of a disadvantage, getting lower and lower level in comparison to its evolved counterparts, now being the only Pokemon to not undergo an evolution, whether it be by stone or by level up. Seraphine lulls the coughing to sleep, as we're not entirely sure if it can self-destruct yet, but we would rather not take that risk. A second Body Slam strikes the target, but these coughings are much more defensively bulky than the wheezing counterparts. But with that, more money earned. This girl, on seeing Nidoqueen, is enthralled, saying that she is a Nidoran specialist. Seraphine, however, takes the stage, nearly one-hitting this Nidoran, and if she had gone for double kick, this could have been dangerous for Seraphine to have stayed in. Its evolved form, Nidorina, then landing a scratch, doing high damage. Well, no. Body Slam does high damage. Poison Sting, risking poison, but we don't get poisoned, thankfully. And another level for Seraphine, sending her to the mid-20s already. This route just proving the training ground for Seraphine to get her mettle. She discusses with Roxas and says that she had two Nidoran at one point, one evolved, and then she didn't want the other one to evolve because it didn't look cute. But Roxas does speak on the offensive power of Pokemon that do evolve, stating that Princess was a Nidoran and actually gained such levels of power before, just by evolving. Approaching another lass with a Meowth, Nidoqueen displays her power in double kicking the Meowth near to unconsciousness. Even with its Screech lowering its defense, a Poison Sting critical didn't really matter, but now with the second Meowth on the stage, another double kick sees Nidoqueen gracefully landing 2 strikes to take out the feline opponent. And, you know, third burst, same as the first 2. Meowth drops again. And like the last area on of the route, they start inquiring about moonstones, and Roxas directs them over to Mount Moon by Pewter City if they want to learn more. Not willing to give up and disclose the fact that he actually has moonstones still unused in his pockets. With all of his praise and accolades going to these other Pokemon like Splishy and Nidoqueen and the now Seraphine, Pikachu takes the stage against these Pidgeys, wanting to show that it is still relevant, it is still a strong part of this team, and is able to do good work. Particularly where, you know, Sunny has kind of taken over the role of fighting grass or water types. Since it's a grass type, Pikachu does feel like one of its niche, you know, opponents has been taken away by just an overlap in type advantages. So Pikachu unfortunately getting a good battle against the Pidgey, but then is withdrawn just because it's an onslaught of one after the other, and it just feels like Pikachu just doesn't have the defensive bulk to take on creatures it's not super effective against. And now with Princess cresting 100 into the triple digits, we are nearly at level 30 with her, and her strength is only going from strength to strength. Even taking a Horn attack, admittedly 10 levels lower, but like Horn attack is a powerful attack. But her defensive bulk is too much. And another lass is defeated. She does say that it's so frustrating that Celadon seem to have a bunch of other Pokemon stones, but not the ones that help Nidoran evolve. On approaching the little cottage, there is an underground pathway that bypasses Celadon and allows bypasses Saffron and allows characters to enter Celadon City, the city of dreams and of shopping, and where Roxas does hope to help purchase a Vulpix for his team. On finally encountering a water Pokemon trainer, Pikachu finally allows its volts to flow free, getting critical hits and good amounts of experience, getting nearly to level 25, even taking on an evolved Poliwag, facing down the Poliwhirl, but is put to sleep. Immediately waking up, because it doesn't want to let itself down, and being able to tank special hits reasonably well, even enduring a critical hit. Peekaboo takes out the Poliwhirl, gaining a good amount of experience and nearly reaching level 25. Lady Luck's not on the side today. Hearing again about the department store, Roxas endeavours to check it out later, but that Abra from earlier, the Pokemon that just teleported away, leaving it information, Celadon, the department store, a casino. He then hears people discuss another sleeping Pokemon. He did remember the PI on the ship saying that he had left Pokemon in order to try and stop Team Rocket's progression through the region and to slow down their endeavours. But why would one need to be in Celadon? Another pulsing in his mind. Abra sending inside the casino a poster, an underground basement, Pokemon in cages, the Team Rocket symbol. And before he can even register that, the Pokemon vanishes. On approaching Celadon City, his heart sinks as he sees people, rockets, just walking around in plain view. On discussing with different members in the town, it's clear that you need a membership card to enter this casino, and one person, on speaking with him, says that his brother ended up with a gambling addiction and asks him to take this membership so he won't be able to go back in again and waste their family fortune. On realizing that Team Rocket must be involved in the gambling ring, and therefore the Pokemon that people can buy must have been acquired through negative means, Roxas endeavors to free one of the Pokemon from its captivity. Entering the casino, the smell of cigarettes and beer and just laughter and revelry as the beeping of slot machines all being turned over and over. Roxas discusses and exchanges a good amount of the money that he has earned into getting 1,000 casino tokens, the price for a Vulpix. Not being able to see the condition that they're in, as they're just hidden behind fabulous prizes. The people behind the desk all wearing their prim and proper, velvet waist jackets and nice white crisp shirts. They're the picture of professionalism, but the Abra giving it psychokinetic visions into the area really makes them realize that their antics are wide-reaching and reach all across the Kanto region. And on purchasing Vulpix and freeing her from her Pokeball, she seems like a quiet Pokemon, unsure of perhaps what it's like to be out of a Pokeball or out of confinement in a very, very long time. On naming her Flare, she becomes a new member of the team. And that's pretty much where we're going to end our episode today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. And obviously we're going to be doing some training up with our new member, but we have some now type diversity, which is great. We kind of have our water, grass and fire archetypes with then poison, normal, flying and electric. So we have a wide variety of types on the team, which is great. And what is funny is that 4 of them evolve by stone. So that's one thing to, I suppose, observe. And here is Vulpix, Ember Tail with Quick Attack. And we'll obviously get to training her next episode. So thanks much for watching. Leave a comment in what you enjoyed. And let me know if you think that I could purchase more of the Team Rocket captured Pokemon. Or, as per Nuzlocke rules, is Vulpix now the Celadon encounter? And that's kind of it. So let me know what you guys think, if I can bend the rules or not. Just let me know. But until next time, I will talk to you later. Have a good one.